Okay, so this is a book that I've always thought was a pretty book. It looks a little more green in person, so you can kind of tell from the gold tones casting some warmth on the blue that it has a little more green shade on the spine, but the book itself in real life is a little more green. We are trying to downsize, and while this is a pretty book, I've never bothered to really open it. And I think initially I had some grand ideas about doing something creative or, decorative with it, but that really is not my strong suit. And as fun as that might be, I really haven't had the time or the wherewithal to do it. I am not an experienced ASMR artist, but I have been watching for a long time, probably at least 10 years off and on. It's about as long as it's really been a thing on YouTube. I remember the earliest days where it wasn't oversaturated and you actually had a limited amount of videos for any particular type of ASMR. So I'm just gonna do my everyday thing, not anything high production value. I've always liked tapping. And right now I actually have nails. They are overgrown. First glance, they look nice, like if it's this angle, oh, how nice. But they're a little overgrown. I'm not one to get many manicures. They really get expensive, and at least for me, I totally don't judge those who can and do keep up their nails. I don't have much artistic skill, as we already established, so limited ability there to do it myself. But for work purposes, I've been trying to, get it done a little more often and keep it up a little more. I really don't know much about, posting on YouTube, algorithms, and all that. I'm just doing this for fun, and really because I wanted to record this for posterity before I get rid of the book. I've seen it in multiple places over the years, and I think I just thought it was pretty more than anything. It's not that I was, carrying a burning desire to go through this anthology of familiar quotations. But I was a bookworm growing up, and I'm out of practice now and trying to get back to reading in my late 30s. Between work and home and, all those responsibilities and things, it can be a challenge. But I had a little victory today when I was out while my husband was at work, and I went to get lunch and I took a book with me. And for about 2 hours, I just camped out, ate my food, and read a book. And that's a great book. Maybe I'll show you that one too at some point. See if I can zoom in. Really have my rhythms down. Again, I'm not a seasoned Asmrtist. This type of book and this, style reminds me of some older content creators that aren't necessarily active now, but they really, what is the phrase? They walked so the rest could run. Let's see, there's one that's changed names quite a few times. Whispering Live, who used to be Whispering Pharaoh. I think in his early days he was Calm the Soul. He didn't have high production value, so I think a lot of people passed him over. But he did a great job. There are some videos that I still go back to now. Also, Kristen Noel. She has a book similar to this, but it's a dark maroon color. And she does some just gentle tapping and page flipping. Maybe a book of poems or something. Nice, like, slow tapping. There's kind of a contrast between the book and the spine. It's like a lighter, higher pitch here. I'm more of a tapping fan than a scratching fan or tracing, but I know others like that. And really, ASMR kind of began for me with page flipping. I got this for about $2. I think I got it at a garage sale, but clearly it's out of history and he used Bookstore. So really this is just an anthology of quotes and their sources. Many of them ancient or, vintage. I mean, you've got Shakespeare here, of course. Let's see. Earlier, I think we saw somewhere in like the 600s, Louisa May Alcott. And that's always a favorite of mine. I think it's the next page. Yeah, up here. She lived from 1832 to 1888. Little Women will always be a favorite of mine. Christmas won't be Christmas without any presents. The Four Sisters have inspired so many adaptations, both for movie, miniseries, and stage. Most of them are worth watching. Yeah. But it was junior high, so 7th grade, when some of my strongest real life memories of ASMR kind of stood out. I have some earlier ones too, but that was the big one, and that's what led me to go to YouTube. Just wanting some background noise. Thinking, well, if I liked the sound of pages turning, I can't be the only one. And clearly I was right, as were many people. And it just exploded as a trend. But in 7th grade, we had sustained silent reading, and it happened to fall in my math class. And I mean, who brings books to math class, right? Maybe a textbook. So my teacher had a wall full of National Geographic magazines. And nobody in 7th grade reads the articles, right? All they're doing is just flipping through and looking at the pictures. So a couple days a week, I got to go to math class and listen to pages turning, specifically National Geographic magazine pages. Well, we sat there for 15 minutes. It was great. So no wonder that was my strongest real life memory, and among the earliest of my ASMR experience. Feeling all tingly listening to pages turning. So that's really kind of my origin story as far as ASMR video consumption goes. And now in my late late 30s. Still taking it in off and on. Don't really have like the space and time for it that I did when I was unmarried and not working quite as much as I do now. But it's nice sometimes to turn it on as background noise when I'm working or reading, just, finding ways to relax. Oh, A.B. White. Isn't that the author of, I want to say, Charlotte's Web? Oh, John Steinbeck. I'm from the Bay Area originally, and so that region definitely puts a lot of stock in John Steinbeck. Alright, that was a quick look at familiar quotations and my ASMR origin story. I don't have any particular intention to post with any sort of regularity. Honestly, I think sometimes it's just, hey, this is an opportunity in my life, a quiet moment to record something for posterity. Maybe share a little something that you may be able to relate to. And sometimes I see gaps in content, which is still surprising, considering how long ASMR has been around and how saturated it is on YouTube. But sometimes it's either hard to find what I'm looking for because videos aren't titled a certain way, or the theme might be what I was looking for, but the particular technique an ASMR artist uses just doesn't quite fit. So if or when I post, I might be just posting things that I know I enjoy and haven't seen as much of on YouTube. And so maybe it can inspire others to create content that I would be looking for if they happen to stumble across my little videos. Or maybe, somebody who's looking for the same thing could just enjoy a little one for me. But yeah, thanks for watching. No expectations for you to like and subscribe, but it's nice. At least at this point in time, I make no money off of this. I'm just doing it for kicks. But yeah, I hope you have a great night or day, morning, whatever it happens to be for you. Thanks for watching my sausage fingers and a little bit of, what I enjoy. See you later.